Bruce Lee's lats muscles are the hallmark of his physique. The V-shaped figure is something that definitely stands out the average person from the athlete. And even if you are essentially skinny by nature like Bruce, one look at the figure will immediately make it clear whether you are an athlete or not. In addition, the back muscles play a very important role in combat, especially in the speed with which you can get your arm back after a punch. Many fighters focus only on the front part of their bodies, but very few focus on developing the back part of the body, such as the back of the shoulders and lats. I'm going to explain something very important now. When you spend all time working on the back, you may not realize that the back is springing your arms back in the return phase. If you neglect working on your back and back shoulder muscles, you'll have weaker return muscles. And because of this, the moment you start to miss punches during a real fight, your arms will tire very quickly. That's actually why Bruce Lee himself paid so much attention to these muscles. Now let's talk about exercises that Bruce Lee used in his workouts. In fact, there was many of them, because he liked to experiment and test all those knowledges that he read from the books. And here is an example of one of his workouts that Bruce Lee used when he was 25-year-old. This example shows biceps and triceps training, and although in this video we are focusing on the back, I will briefly read you an exercise from this sheet, so that we can fully recreate Bruce's training principles at the end of this video. So as you see, Bruce used the so-called French bench press with a 30 kg barbell and did it in 4 sets. Then he pumped his biceps on an inclined bench and again passed the same exercise in 4 sets of 6 repetitions. By the way, I would like to notice that Bruce never used more than 8 repetitions on the upper body, and even push-ups were 10 repetitions each. Probably he did them with weights or asked his partner to lie on his back. Lee also did a separate exercise, 3 sets each, to stretch his triceps, and he also paid attention to his forearms and even included squats in his arm training, both with the bar and with his own body weight. Why he did it, we will talk a little later. And now let me immediately outline his main training principles, which are essentially based on his program I just reviewed. First, Bruce never took weights that he was not able to lift. He believed that it was much more important to feel the muscles and to do the movement under control. In his philosophy, the brain and the muscles were indivisible, and therefore he never chased any records in the form of pounds lifted. Many visitors of the gym, as Bruce Lee said, think only about how to pull up the weight from point A to point B, without thinking about how it will be done. The second principle is to focus on the small muscle groups. Bruce trained separately the calf muscles, forearms, devoted a lot of time to the grip training and even training his fingers. That's why he was able to do push-ups on 2 fingers of one hand and pull-ups on one hand even before it was practiced by athletes of other directions. You can see in this photo that his forearms looked really powerful. By the way, I've been to Hong Kong and visited the monument that was built for the memory of the legend. In fact, there are several of them. And I'll tell you that if this sculpture is actually made exactly according to Bruce Lee's physique, he looked very powerful, although he did not have a lot of muscle mass. But as I said, it doesn't matter how he looked like, it matters what his body was capable of. It is worth to mention that nowadays you will not be surprised by any tricks on fingers. In my recent video about Chinese calisthenic athletes, you should see such elements as planche on 2 index fingers or push-ups in planche on fingers. But please note once again the fact that Lee did his exercises half a century ago, and back then this level was truly amazing. It can be compared to Michael Jackson's moonwalk, which is essentially easy to do, but coming up with and performing the movement is a really phenomenon. In spite of small groups, Bruce was also contracting his muscles, and it looked like this. For example, first you do pull-ups and then you try your best to contract the target muscle groups. In my case, this is the lats muscles. My right side even gave me a cramp when I was not used to it, but Bruce Lee did it with absolutely every muscle. What is interesting, in modern bodybuilding, this method is widely used. For example, when I was present at the training session of the Arnold Classic champion Sergey Danielets, he also squeezed his legs after each approach. In bodybuilding, this is used to make the muscles deeper. That is the lines that separate one muscle from another. Here is a photo of Sergey's competition form, where the result of such presses can be clearly seen. The fourth principle is stretching. Always after each workout, stretch your muscles. So as not to give you a long lecture, I will just say that it will directly affect your results, both in elasticity as well as in terms of muscle growth and speed. And it is important to do it after your main workout, not before it. Bruce's fifth principle is to train the whole body. That's why he trained his legs and abs on arm day. Remember Bruce Lee's famous quote when he said, "I'm not afraid of someone who learns 10,000 different punches. I'm afraid of someone who studies one punch 10,000 times." So that's the same principle he used himself, training his whole body as often as possible. What Lee was saying was that your blood should circulate throughout your body and not be concentrated in just one target muscle group, even if that was the main focus. From this same principle comes another, and that is surprise your body. A similar principle like to use in his prime Arnold Schwarzenegger, but in his case it concerned a pure variety of exercises in the gym, while Bruce Lee more insisted on a change of activities. For example, he did cardio from 5 to 6 times a week, rode a bike, ran, jumped on the rope and so on. Of course, he spent a lot of time in martial arts and went to the gym 3 times a week. And he also was doing that we now called calisthenics before it became mainstream, doing one-arm pull-ups, muscle-ups and static holds such as dragon flag. All those principles are extremely important for general understanding of Bruce Lee's training process. And right now we will talk a little bit more detailed about his last training. The main exercise was pulling up, and he did it always with a wide grip and controlled. It is not those jerks which some people are used to call pull-up. You want a wide back, so take a wider grip. Of course, it will be much harder, but you are gonna feel the target muscle groups at once. Besides wide pull-ups, he also did pull-ups behind the head, and of course his favorite exercise was pulling ups on one arm. In this photo you can see that Bruce Lee even used in this move a little extra weight. People say that in his workout the number of pull-ups on one arm was about to 50 repetitions. It is clear that the athletes nowadays can do even 20 or 30 repetitions. And despite all the rumors and legends that swirl around his name, I believe that with his weight about 63 kg, the one-arm pull-up could be a really favorite exercise and Bruce Lee could do it well. As a throwback to Noah from the recent episode of Chinese athletes, if he could do 18 pull-ups in one go, Bruce Lee could easily do 50 in one session. And if we talk about gym, the main exercise for the width of the back was the deadlift, which Bruce Lee did no more than 8 repetitions in 4 approaches, with decent weights on the bar. By the way, some of his trainings and nutrition plans we will leave in our website absolutely for free, so go ahead and check this out in the description section. Well, that's all for today. With you as always was Fedor Chepki. Don't forget to subscribe and press the like button, and see you soon. Goodbye.